Hi, Girly Pop Society. Today we sat down with another local doula, Doula Michelle. If you guys listened in last week, this is Liv's doula partner, and they own Doula Gals together. You guys should definitely go check out their website. We get to listen to her 3 birth stories today. 1 first-time labor that was only 12 hours, and then followed by 2 precipitous births. We believe a birth story doesn't begin with labor, it begins with her.
Welcome to Girly Pop Birth Talks, where we go beyond the delivery room. Each week, we interview a woman just like you and unlike you about her pregnancy, her birth, and also her becoming, and what led her to the most transformative experience of her life.
So grab a drink, a snack, and cozy up, because around here we go from laughing 1 minute to crying the next.
As we listen to the stories that shape us.
Because birth isn't just about babies, it's about the women who rise in the process.
Welcome,
Michelle Cañete.
Thank you.
That could be a song.
I was named after Michelle, the Beatles. Michelle, my belle. Yeah. And our wedding song was Elton John.
Oh my God. It was like the
Meant to
universe
be.
was just giving me that word. What was the song that you guys...
Your song?
Yes, that's my
Yeah.
parents' wedding song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. We're like old school. Like I love the classics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like documentaries.
That's so great.
That counts.
Tell us about you. Who are you? What do you do? Tell us about your family.
So I married my high school sweetheart, and we moved here about 4 years ago. We moved from the Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
Moved to Roseville, and I have 3 boys. And I own a charcuterie business, and
Oh, I didn't
I'm
know
also a
this.
doula. Yeah.
I didn't charcuterie this.
Yeah. I started that like 4 years ago.
I appreciate you trying to just keep going.
No
I
worries.
can't. God help us.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
this is ridiculous. Hey, 1 second, sorry. Okay.
Every time we do this, I'm like, no one's gonna ever come back
I
to the
know.
podcast. We can do this one together.
Okay, that's really great.
I actually love that, and I
Maybe
assume
we
you
can
have an
hire
Instagram.
her business for my birthday party
Wonderful.
There you
at
go.
the Chow Chow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. You guys will get the friend discount.
Wow, we're friends, Ariel.
That's amazing. After everything we just put her through.
I know.
I want to talk more about charcuterie, but I know that's
I
not what we're
know.
here for.
It's a
Separate day.
charcuterie podcast.
Yes. We'll do a different foodie podcast.
I actually
Yes.
have questions about the charcuterie. Where do you source your cheeses?
Locally there's Nugget is really
I was gonna say the
good.
nugget.
Nugget's good. Costco actually does do seasonal ones that are good, and then Trader Joe's, they have really good
Yes.
ones.
Have you
Mhm.
been to the Newcastle cheese shop?
No.
Okay, that's what it's called, right?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's up
Oh.
in Newcastle.
Yeah. That's probably why, because it's kind of far. Not far, but
Out of the way.
I have actually never been either,
Huh.
but I've heard they have this. I think it's called a rat something. Like it's like a
Ooh.
sandwich.
Huh.
Oh.
Highly recommend it.
it sounds
I've never had it. It's called the rat.
the rat. That sounds interesting.
I can't do this.
But everyone talks about it,
I have to check it out.
and they have cheeses.
Yeah. Usually those are the 3 stores that I
Yes.
circle through.
Yeah.
Amazing. I would
Yeah.
love to check out your boards.
Yes.
I
I'll
will
send
you
you guys
too.
my Instagram after.
Definitely.
So how did charcuterie become a doula?
Well, because I just really
Charcuterie
because it's like
to a doula.
it was a
No.
side hustle with my corporate job. And then
Okay.
I really loved childbirth and wanted to get into childbirth because I knew I was done with kids, but I didn't want to be done with birth.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what should I do? And one of my friends was pregnant at the time, and so I decided
Okay.
to become a doula. And that just kind of took off from there. So then I was balancing my corporate job with charcuterie side business with a
Mhm.
doula side business.
And what was the corporate job?
Yeah.
I was in like recruiting HR for Stanford and
wow.
realized I was like, I cannot do all 3. Plus, I'm a mom of 3. It was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So luckily we were at that time where like the company was changing, and it just happened to be like the right time to quit. It was a big risk, right? Because I'm like leaving a guaranteed corporate job
Mhm.
Yeah.
for 2 side hustles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now those 2 side hustles have become my
Okay,
career.
so you're just like the momature.
The
Yeah.
momature.
Isn't that what it's called? Kris Jenner?
Oh,
Like
mama.
the
momager.
entrepreneur?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mompreneur.
I know. Yeah.
Mompature.
Yeah.
Charcuterie.
You are.
So I balance. Now it's just charcuterie and doula, but like
And the 3
Doula is a
kids.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doula is a lot because it's like
Yes.
not just birth, it's all the prenatals and the postpartums
Yes.
and all the, you know.
Yeah,
And we
the
heard from a
emailing.
little birdie that was here before you that your husband is gone 3 days of the week in the Bay
Yes,
Area.
yes. So I solo parent 3 times a week too.
That's crazy.
And then what do
Yeah.
you guys do on the you're full-time mom.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I just do it.
I
I'm just
have
a
kids
mother.
your
I just
age.
do
I have a
it.
7, a 5, and a
Oh my
1-year-old.
gosh, we're literally twins.
Yes, but I am suffering
It's hard.
Come here, baby.
So I don't know how you're doing
It's exhausting. But I also
Do
just
you
like
drink?
wine, yes. On my off call days. I love my wine.
Welcome to the party.
If I have charcuterie, I have to have wine.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I definitely have mental breakdowns a lot
Okay,
and I
cool.
cry. And some days I'm like, what? How can I do this? But we just do.
It is true. You just do it, and then the time's passing, and you're just like, "Okay."
Yeah, I cannot believe we're entering like middle of April.
I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be summer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already thinking about what pool I'm
For
gonna
sure.
go in,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
what
Yeah.
swimsuit this body is gonna go in, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so take us back to well, let's go back even further than 7 years ago. Where did you meet your husband? Did you grow up in the Bay Area?
Yes. So we both went to Catholic schools. We both met at an 8th grade dance. So we
No
met
way.
when we were
Gosh.
like babies. We were like 12 or 13. And I just thought he was this cute guy and vice versa. And so, like back then, like the dances, you like held your hands out and you like dance like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So my friend like told him, she's like, she thinks you're cute, typical 8th graders. And he like asked for my instant messenger. Do you guys remember
Yes.
AIM? Yeah.
Mhm.
So we exchanged screen names and like we just honestly became friends. Like we became best friends even throughout high school. Like the first 2 years, we were truly just best friends. But then, of course, like lines blurred and we ended up becoming like
Who pulled the first move?
me.
What was it?
Shy. Kissing him. And
Oh.
I just like went in to kiss him and he said, "No, we're just friends." And that's like a
Oh.
famous quote from him. Like he wants to get it tattooed on his arm now
Mm.
because that just friends led to our
Yeah.
life and 3 kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, then we had our first kiss and then we dated for about 2 years and then I broke up with him to
Ooh.
go to college. I kind of wanted to like spread my wings and do my own thing. And honestly, like I'm glad we did break up because we were 18,
Yeah.
like we had things to experience and things to do. And so we both separated in college, 4 years. We dated other
Oh,
people.
wow.
Yeah, we did our own thing. I studied abroad, he studied abroad. So we lived our life a little bit, like we had
Mhm.
fun. But we always, like, stayed connected. Like, my sister always called us, like I don't know if you guys watch Friends, like, lobsters, like, we're each other's lobsters from
Mm.
Ross and Rachel.
Mhm. Mhm.
We always just kept, like, coming back to each other. We would always stay in touch. We'd see each other on Christmas breaks and summers, like, just as friends, though. And then once we graduated college, like, we started seeing each other more because we both moved back home, and then we just started dating, and then it went from there.
Wow.
Yeah. And we dated for 5-ish years, and then he finally proposed. I kept pressuring him. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Anytime now, I'm ready."
I don't know if you've ever seen the videos, like, it's a trend now to and I always wonder, like, are these real? But
Mhm.
people with their just friends that they, like, actually have a crush on,
Yeah.
they'll record them just going in for a kiss, and they're, like, my favorite videos to
Oh, yeah.
watch because
I
it's usually the
haven't.
girl that's, like I'm like, she'll write on the caption, like, "I'm gonna kiss my, like, best friend
Oh,
and
no,
see
I
what
haven't seen
happens."
that.
Yeah, they're really
And
cute
some of them are
videos.
like, "Okay,"
Yeah,
and other
sometimes
times they're
they,
like,
like, go for
Ugh!
it, other times they're like,
"No, don't ruin
Oh
this."
my gosh.
but they're really
Yeah.
fun, and that's
I
what I'm
mean, I knew
picturing.
he liked me.
Yeah.
He was just trying to be all cool.
Those 4 years while you were with other people, did you know the whole time, like
Mhm. Mhm. I knew that I liked him, like, I always had, like I feel like I always loved him, it just never went away, but I knew that we needed to do our own thing. Like, I knew that, like, in the future, if we did get married, that I'd always wonder, like, what if?
Was it hard for
He
This is a dating podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it hard for you to see, like, him with other people? Because my fear would be, what if you end up marrying somebody?
Mhm.
or
And,
he
like
married someone else?
no, that's what I mean. It's like, what if I'd be thinking
Oh,
about him,
Yeah.
what if you marry somebody and
Yeah, no,
then
I
this is
was
just over.
definitely jealous, and it was, like, the Facebook era,
Yeah.
so, like, people, posting pictures and stuff, oh, yeah, I definitely got jealous, but I was dating people too, so I'd, like, post back, like,
Yeah.
you know
Little
that game.
Yep,
But
yep.
yours were just a placeholder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I mean, for a while, I thought, like, "Oh, okay, maybe I am over him because I was seeing another guy, like, pretty seriously, but he always told me, he's like, "No, I knew we would end up together." Like, he
No.
just knew.
Oh,
I know. Like, cute.
that's very sweet.
So you guys went back to the Bay Area
Mhm.
and you guys got back together.
Yep. Yep. And then he proposed when we were 26 in Mexico, on the beach. It was really cute. And then we got married in 2017. So we were 27. And then I got pregnant the next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that planned?
Yes.
You guys knew, like, let's get right into
He
this.
was the one that, like, brought it up. Like, a
Okay.
year after we were married, I came back from one of my friend's bachelorette trips, and he, like, was home for the weekend by himself and, like, saw, like, our neighbors with their kids, and I guess just, like, when I came home, he sat down, he's like, "I'm ready to start a family," and I was like, "Okay." Like, I wasn't in a rush. Like, looking back, I'm kinda surprised because I've always wanted to be a mom, and I've always wanted kids, so I'm surprised that I wasn't in a rush, but I was just, like, loving married life and, like, I don't know, I just wasn't, like, so, yeah, then we started trying, but, like, I didn't really know, I didn't have any pregnant friends. My sister, she's 12 years older than me, and, like,
Mm.
her so I didn't, like, know really anything about pregnancy or birth or getting pregnant. So it was took well, and then backtrack, I also had an eating disorder for 10 years.
Mm.
So I didn't have a period for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And even when we got married, I still was not having a period. But
Mm.
I knew, like, that I wanted kids and I knew how to have kids. You have to have a cycle. So that was, like, a really big motivator for me to gain weight. I
Mhm.
even, like, on my mirror, my bathroom mirror, I said, "Eat for the babies."
Aw.
Oh.
And so that was something that really helped motivate me and to gain weight. And then I did finally start getting a cycle back, but I did not really, like, know, like, I knew how to make a baby, right? But I was like, I didn't really know about ovulation.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
no, and,
That's not
like,
taught.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I look back now, I'm like, "How did you not know?" But then I'm like, I guess it's just because I didn't have, like, I was the first friend in my group to get pregnant, and,
Mm.
like, also, like, at 27, I mean, that's not like it's young, but it's still, like, I was very naive about it all. So, we tried for, like, a few months, and I wasn't getting pregnant, and I was like, "Is it because of my eating disorder? Did I ruin my body? Like, what's going
Mm.
on?" But then, like, once I started researching more, then I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it now. Like, you have to actually be ovulating. You have, like, these certain windows, and you have to take tests to see if you're peak and all this stuff."
Mhm.
So once I learned, then we did get pregnant on our first try.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's all it took.
Yeah. Understanding your body.
Yeah. But it's yeah, if you're
That's a
not
very
in it,
common story, yeah.
yeah, you don't
Mhm.
know what cervical mucus is, you don't know
No.
temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
It
wild.
was all foreign to me.
And it's such like I always get so
Mhm.
in awe that like we can create. I'll never get over that.
Mhm.
Like I've watched a lot of deliveries, but even the pregnancy aspect of it, like
Yeah.
that you and your lover can
Yeah.
create, or you and anyone, I guess, but can create
Yeah.
a baby.
I
That's
know.
so wild.
I know. Yeah.
It's always crazy to me the people that get pregnant like one night stands too. Like
Oh, I know.
how? How?
Like, you were ovulating that
Yeah.
one night.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
crazy.
Mhm. Yeah. So, you didn't know anything about getting pregnant. What about, like, birth?
No, it
Going
was
into your
never,
first both.
yeah, it was never talked about. I mean, my
Mhm.
mom, like, I knew, like, she had me unmedicated, but not by choice. She had something with her kidney stones or something, and they didn't wanna
Mm.
give her, I don't know, so she had to go unmedicated. My sister was all C-sections, so she has 3 kids. The first was a C-section, and then her next one was twins. So I didn't know anything.
Mm.
So I did not educate myself on birth at all. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't know anything.
What were you guys planning in pregnancy? Just more like parenthood?
Just the baby, like
Yeah.
the nursery and the
Yeah.
clothes and all the, foofy stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is special.
It is, but that's why, like, for my first time moms, like, I really dive into, like,
Yeah.
preparing for
Yeah.
labor.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was so, like, blindsided by contractions. We can get into that when we talk about birth or my labor, but, like, literally just didn't even know I was in labor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get into
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
wanna now I'm like, I need to know what you mean.
So,
You're
okay,
28.
28. So pregnant. Pregnancy was fine. Never was nauseous. I was that girl that just like was chilling. I loved being pregnant. I was also that first time mom that was like just eating everything, not working out, like just being that typical first
Mhm.
time pregnant mom. So then I was 38 weeks and 4 days, and we went to church and was feeling like a lot of pressure and cramping. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is like baby dropping, and at 38 and 4, as a first time mom, like I was definitely not thinking labor was coming.
Mhm.
Um, then we went and got pizza, came home, and these cramps continued to happen. And I was like, okay, let's put on a movie to distract me and like maybe they'll go away. And they kept coming and coming, and then they got more intense, and I remember sitting there, like, gripping his hand, and he's like, "Well, do you think these are contractions?" I was like, "I don't know." And I was, like, Googling, like, "What is early labor?" And some of it was saying, like, "Oh, it could be days." And I'm like, "Okay, so we're fine." Like, it says early labor can be
Wait,
days.
this is wild.
Yeah.
This is like
Like, you didn't
for
know
like to
anything.
see then what
No.
you became,
I didn't know
that you
nothing.
now coach women on like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
process and you're
Yeah.
sitting there in labor and you're like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, just wait till I get to my precipitous ones. No.
Had a question about the eating disorder.
Yeah.
How was the pregnancy like with your body changing?
I was so I have a different answer for my third on that. But my
Okay.
first, I was fully just like embracing it.
Okay.
I was like eating french fries and burgers and milkshakes and just so proud of my body
Mhm.
for gaining weight back after 10 years and being able to get pregnant and
Yeah.
hold a viable, healthy pregnancy. Like
Yeah.
I was like living it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
And so no, I didn't have like any like mental issues with that pregnancy at all. Um so yeah, so then we're on the couch and they're getting more intense. I'm even like texting my mom and my sister, and they're like, I'm sure, it's, just go to bed. Like it's fine. So we go to bed and I'm laying there starting to cry because these contractions are so intense. And I just did not even think that it was labor. And I'm just laying there curled up in a fetal position, just crying every time they came and like kind of just like doing like noises. And then all of a sudden my water broke in bed. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then that it was like a movie, right? I like hit my husband. I'm like, my water broke. And like we rush out of course, our garage door doesn't shut that night. So we had to call my dad and he comes over and he's trying to shut the garage. And at this point, like I'm like full on contracting, as you know, like your water breaks and there's like nothing, it's all
No
pressure.
cushion, yeah.
And so we get to the hospital and I am like screaming in pain. And they check me and I'm 3. And I was like,
Oh, no.
okay, well, I want that epidural. And I look back at my notes because when I became a doula, I was very curious about my chart notes. And they wrote, patient is agitated and not coping well.
What?
Excuse me, I'm in
So
labor.
To your care team.
so rude. I was
That's
like,
wild.
literally, it says patient agitated and not coping well.
Those are words that don't belong in a labor and delivery unit.
So sad.
Patient is so strong and working through these
Yeah.
strong surges.
Yeah.
What?
And so then again, like they put me, I'm in triage, they're monitoring me, and they ask if I wanted IV pain meds because I wasn't admitted yet, so I couldn't get an epidural. And I was like, sure. And I didn't know IV pain meds were fentanyl, and I didn't know what fentanyl does. So again, I did not educate myself on any of this.
Mhm.
The fentanyl knocked me over. Like I felt so nauseous and I threw up and I just was like so sick from that. So then that finally wore off and I just remember literally screaming. The whole time a contraction came, I would just scream because I didn't know how to breathe. And I vividly remember the nurse saying, breathe, like
Mm.
trying to teach me. And I just kept saying, I can't. Like I did not prepare for birth at all.
Mhm.
And finally got the epidural and oh, that's the wild thing. So I got checked at 3 centimeters. An hour later, when they admitted me to go give me the epidural, they did another cervical check and I was 7.
Oh, wow.
So jumped to 7, got the epidural, and then they checked me like 3 hours later and I was 10. So my first total, I started contractions around 6 p.m. and then he was born at 6 a.m.
Wow.
So that was about 12 hours.
Mhm.
and pushing was fine. Like, it was beautiful. Like, I had the epidural, the sun was rising.
Aw.
He came out crying, and it was beautiful. It was truly, and like, it's funny. I feel like my births depict my kids' personalities. I don't know if
Mhm.
you've heard that, but I
Yes, I
totally
find that to
like,
be true.
Yep.
yes. And he's like my chill, like, he's like my mini me for sure.
Aw,
That's
So yeah,
sweet.
that was my first.
how was the first year of motherhood?
Oh, that was rough. And that's another thing. I teach a postpartum course, like a prepare for fourth trimester, because again, I didn't prepare for postpartum and I had no idea what to expect. Like the bleeding and the soreness and the night sweats and the milk coming in. Oh my gosh. So all of that just took me off guard. And I struggled those first couple months. So I specifically like designed a course to teach my first time moms about postpartum and what to expect.
Yeah.
Because of
So important.
yeah. No, and then, that's the thing is like so many people just focus on baby and they don't focus on what they should prepare for themselves
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, birth went well, but the also the epidural ruined my spine. I had
Oh.
scoliosis, so that was also kind of a factor, and they
Mhm.
did tell me like you could have back pain, and I did for like months. I had terrible
Oh,
back pain. I know. So,
that's a bummer.
yeah.
Okay, so before we get into
Birth story number 2.
birth story number 2, let's take a mocktail
Mocktail little break.
These cups are so cute.
I don't know why I have to go over and under like that, but I
So,
do.
what do we have, Becca?
Today is a coconut
Mm.
limoncello on the Italy theme for our Italiana
I love
guest.
it.
Michelle.
Ciao.
I can't wait to have my chow party.
My ciao. My 29th ciao.
That's good.
Mm.
These cups are so cute.
Thank you.
They're the girly pop cups. Is this that pina colada thing?
It does taste like a pina colada.
No, it's yeah, there's coconut milk in it, but it's
Oh,
the
just
lemon
coconut
it's the limoncello LaCroix with coconut milk.
Oh, not with
That's
the
really
key
good.
lime.
No,
Okay.
I ditched that for the set of sunrise.
Yeah, so I'm just curious after a birth like that,
Mhm.
how are you feeling about like ever doing that again?
I was definitely planning on getting an epidural again.
Mhm.
Okay, so with my second, I didn't I'll just prelude it by saying I didn't know I was pregnant until I was 9 weeks.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
I know, you guys, my stories.
Yes, please spill.
So, I got my period back. I stopped breastfeeding after a year. So he was born in May, and I made it a whole year. And like by that point, like, he was eating and,
Mhm.
weaning. And so I stopped breastfeeding him. I got my period back about 1 month after. And I had a cycle and I was like, cool, like my body's healthy. Yay. We weren't planning on trying again until about December. Like we wanted them to be close in age, but not like super close, like 2.5 years or so. And so, I don't know. I just wasn't tracking.
Just girly things, you know.
Yeah, I just wasn't, tracking my ovulation because,
We said December.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just was so like not in tune with my body.
Mhm.
I don't
You had a
know.
1-year-old.
I
Yeah.
know.
And you
But
had what, 2 jobs this time?
no, this one I was just working. Actually, I quit my corporate job to be a stay-at-home mom at
Okay.
that point.
Mm.
Charcuterie wasn't a thing yet.
Okay.
And so I don't know. And so we, were just unprotected and doing our thing. And then June came, July came, and then I was like feeling weird. I was like randomly getting nauseous. I was getting like really bad heart palpitations. I was really bloated. I was hungry all the time. I was peeing all the time. And I wasn't getting my period, but literally
Just describe
just
pregnancy.
For first trimester systems.
I was so naive and I was like, something's wrong with my body. And I was like, I emailed my doctor. I was like, can we get blood work done? Can we check my thyroid? And they're like, well, do you want us to throw in an HCG test? I'm like, oh, no. There's no way I'm pregnant.
Impossible.
Absolutely not. I literally said, I was like, no. And so they literally canceled the HCG.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went in, all my blood work came fine. Everything looked great. And I'm like, what is going on with me? And I'm like, and why aren't I getting a cycle? Like I'm at a healthy weight and guys, so bad. So then
Because
one
most people
night
at this point are like, I'm just going to take a test and
She's
just
gonna
rule
rule
it
it
I
out.
know.
No,
I
no.
didn't. And I was even like having wine here and there, right?
course.
Luckily, I was I had aversions to it, which again, I wasn't like,
This
hello.
is why we get the aversions.
Oh, I
No,
know.
just in
So luckily
case.
I was having aversions to it, but I still was having like maybe 2 glasses a week.
It's fine.
Yeah, in Italy, that's
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
very
they
normal.
do.
It's very normal.
And so then one night, my husband goes to bring me a glass of wine. And I was like, I don't know, I'm just like feeling nauseous. And I like looked at it, I was like, no, that looks terrible. And I'm like,
Hmm.
maybe I should test.
Your baby's like, "This is my 1,000th message to you."
Seriously.
Please, mom, please.
And it
He's
was
like,
literally. And it was 10 o'clock at night. I go and take a test. And
So you had tests.
yeah, from the first,
they were just in
they're
the drawer.
stocked up
So
in
it's not even
there.
like you're like, I can't go out and spend 15
Nope.
bucks on a
Just
test. You
sitting
had them.
there waiting for
Okay.
me. And that dye sealer just boom, immediately at 10 p.m. I'm like,
It
it's
smelled you coming.
malfunctioned. I was, I didn't believe it.
It's
And
expired.
I did. It was like 2 months expired. I'm like, that's not possible. And then I had a digital, and that one wasn't expired. And I am like shaking in the bathroom. My husband's downstairs, like again, completely like not even aware I'm doing this.
You didn't tell him the dye sealer. You didn't tell
No,
him
I
because
didn't
that's
tell him yet.
expired.
I didn't tell him yet. And so then I text my best friend.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course, you have to tell the friend first.
Yeah.
And she's like, you need to go take the digital. And so I'm like chugging water so I can try to pee again. And I pee again and it just pregnant. And I'm like, what do I do?
No,
And
that's spelt wrong.
I was like, oh my. So my husband comes in for bed and I'm like, I have something to show you. And he just was like, well, how far along? I'm like, I have no
Sometimes don't those
idea.
digitals say like 4 weeks, 4 to 6
No, it was
weeks?
just the
Okay,
pregnant,
just the
non-pregnant
okay,
one.
okay.
And so I don't even think I slept that night because I'm like, how pregnant am
First pregnancy
I?
symptoms. Check, 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 check.
And then in my head, I'm like, it all makes sense
Yeah.
now.
This is hilarious.
Yeah. And so I'm also one of those people that has terrible pregnancy anxiety, like the worst pregnancy anxiety, especially in the beginning and then
Yeah.
also towards the end. And so I emailed my OB and I was like, oh, surprise, you were right. Like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, well, I can probably fit you in next week. And I was like, okay. And so I went in for and it was during COVID. So my husband couldn't go with me.
Of course.
And so I go in for the ultrasound and FaceTiming with him, and I'm like panicking because I'm like thinking like I've been drinking and I haven't been taking prenatals, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna see? And there was a beautiful, exactly 9 week, and
Mm.
I was like, well, I'm almost in my second trimester at this point. Like, how
Honestly,
did that
love that.
happen? Right? And then luckily, like everything was fine. Like the anatomy scan, I was really worried for because again, like I just wasn't doing anything to take care of this baby in the beginning. So I truly am so grateful that he was a healthy
Mhm.
baby and everything was fine. But yeah, never. And then after that, I like tracked my cycle
You're
very
like,
well.
never again.
Never again.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So that would like also indicates like my middle child, his personality, like
Mm.
already that was just
Mhm.
typical, like just shocking me.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Middle child.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you found out you're pregnant. Now are you thinking anything about like I need to prepare for birth because
Nope.
I wasn't okay.
Nope. Just went in blindsided again. I at least knew what contractions felt like. So I was like,
Yes.
okay, once contractions start and once my water breaks, like I'll know it's time to go in and all that. Still did not practice any breathing techniques. Like I can't believe I didn't do any of that. And so again, just was like preparing for baby and enjoying the pregnancy because I knew like we only wanted two. I knew he was my last, and so I was just trying to like savor it. And then at 38 weeks, I got a membrane sweep, which I always like tell my clients now don't do, but I did. Um, because again, like I said, I have really bad pregnancy anxiety in the beginning and then towards the end. Because at the end, I'm at that point where I'm like, I fear like the very rare things, but I feared them,
Yeah.
right? And at that point, I was like, I just want my baby out and I
Yeah.
want my baby with me. So I got a membrane sweep. It didn't really do anything. Just, random cramping and pressure. And then at 39 weeks exactly, I got a second membrane sweep. And that put me into labor the next day. But again, so I woke up around like 2 in the morning with like cramping. And I was like, okay, I'm ready this time.
Mhm.
And then they like fizzled out after a couple hours. I'm like, oh. So then I went on like a 5-mile walk that day. I think I hit like 16,000 steps and literally like felt pressure and I was losing parts of my mucus plug. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I went to bed, which is like Braxton Hicks, tons of Braxton Hicks, no actual cramping. Like I was definitely alert for that though. And then I woke up at exactly 1 a.m. to a very strong contraction that like literally woke me out of my sleep. And I was like,
Mm.
whoa, okay. And then the next one came about like 5 minutes later. And I was like, okay, we're starting. Then it kept coming. After like 4 of them, I woke up my husband and I was like, okay, like I think we're having contractions. Like I was able to actually breathe through them. They weren't too bad. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to take a shower and we're going to get ready. My mom lived like 20 minutes away. So I called her and I told her I was contracting. So she's like, okay, I'll head over in like an hour because she needed to stay with my little one.
Mhm.
And then like 30 minutes later, they got like a lot stronger. And I was like, also that person that wants to come home to a clean house. So like in
Yeah.
between contractions at 2 in the morning, I was mopping and doing dishes, like trying to like tidy the house.
Oh my gosh.
But then they were getting stronger to the point where like I had to stop and I was like on hands and knees and breathing through them and like, but then I'd be fine and I'd get up and do my thing again. And by the time my mom got there an hour later, I was in excruciating pain. And they were coming like every 2 minutes, really, really fast. And I was like starting to get scared because I was like, I've only had contractions for an hour now. Why are they so strong? Why are they coming on so quickly?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember trying to get into the car. My mom was like trying to not load me, but like help me into the car. And I just fell to the ground with the strongest contraction. And I was like, we need to leave. And so we're driving. It's like we left at 3. So now this is hour 2. We left at 3 and they are just one after another in the car. And I was scared. I'm like, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong. This isn't normal. I should not be contracting every minute and a half. Um, I was again like screaming and panting through these and like screaming at my husband to drive faster. And I think it was raining that night. So he was like going extra slow. And I was like, but
How long is the drive?
it was like 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's hard.
But in my mind, again, my water hadn't broken. So I was like, there's no way, like, I'm even that far, but why are they so close? So then we get there and it was 3:45, I think, when we got there. And of course, like everything's shut. This is also in Kaiser, San Jose.
Oh, okay.
So because we were living down there. And so you have to go through like not the emergency room, the triage room, right? But their doors are locked. So you have to like call L&D and they have to like have the security guard open the door for you.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm like waiting outside the door while my husband's going to park the car. And I'm by myself and the security guard is coming and I walk in and I just fall to the ground. And I was like, where are the elevators to L&D? And he like showed me. I knew where they were because we took the tour, but at that moment you're in labor
Yeah.
land, so you don't know anything. And my husband, I had told him to leave me alone. I was like, it's fine, like just go park the car. Like again, not thinking I was this far along. So I walked myself into the elevator by myself and get out of the elevator. I saw a janitor, but I thought he was like a doctor.
You're about to say that.
The white. He was wearing white.
I think I was so
It was
just
Jesus, that's all we
I
know,
know.
yeah.
And I was like, can I get an epidural? And he's like, "You need to check in to, like, L&D." And I was like, "Okay." And so I, like they put me on a wheelchair, and they're, like, having me sign forms, and I just remember just scribbling because I'm so delirious.
Mhm.
And because I'm just getting these contractions one on top of another, and I keep saying, "I have to poop." And they're, like, laughing. They're like, "Okay, just, like, use the bathroom." They're like, "Don't have a baby in there." And I'm like, "Eh." And
Yeah.
so
Fucking Jessica.
I
Yeah.
know. And I'm, like, still having that insane urge of, "I have to poop, I have to poop." And so I go to the bathroom, I come back, and I am, like, screaming in pain, and
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Did you sit on the toilet
Mhm.
and you were able to go to the bathroom and not push your baby out?
I didn't poop, I think I just peed, I just had the
Yeah.
urge to poop.
Yeah. I'm just scared that I'm
Yeah.
scared for you to sit on the toilet.
Well, I sat there for, like, 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe, because they came and knocked on the door, and they checked on me. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I can't get
just
up."
waiting for that
Yeah.
poop.
You know, it's like, I can't
Named
get up.
Jesse or whatever the kid's name is.
Yeah. And so then at this point, my husband comes in like right as I was getting off the toilet, and they laid me down and they're like, "You're crowning."
In the bathroom or
I was on the bed now. I
okay.
got off the toilet. They laid me down and they're like, "You're crowning. His head's right there." And I'm like, "No, it's not.
Nope.
Nope.
My water hasn't
My
broken.
water hasn't broken and I haven't had my epidural."
Yeah,
So no.
no. So get the anesthesiologist in here. I will sit
The
still.
janitor was fine with me getting the epidural.
He said it was okay.
Yeah.
Told me to check in, and then he was gonna get it.
He's working on it right now.
Right after he takes the trash out, he's coming back.
And so I was at that point though, like it was the oh shit moment, and I got scared because I was like, it hit me in that moment. There was no epidural.
Yeah.
And I did not prepare for this. And in my mind, it's funny, my mind immediately went to my mom because my mom had an unmedicated birth.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is karma.
That is really scary. Like if that was not your plan
Yeah.
and that was your fear,
So
and then that's
scary.
your reality. That is so. Like some people will be like, "Oh my god, that's my dream." No,
No.
that can be
And
someone's
especially
nightmare.
because this was so fast. Like
Yeah.
this is the third hour, you
Yeah.
know?
You have not wrapped your mind around it.
No. And that's the thing about precipitous labors is like your mind and body are not synced at the same time.
Mhm.
It takes
Yeah.
so
Hours. Yeah.
you don't even know you're in labor until it's like done. And so at that moment though, it was cute. My husband, I guess, last minute grabbed one of my son's little toy hammers and gave it to me to hold. So it was like strength, a hammer. Plus I had like my son. So I was like holding that, and they told me
So
to
cute.
push. Yeah, I still have it too.
Oh.
They told me to start pushing, and I was like, I didn't really know how, so I was just screaming. And I have all this on video because I love getting my births on video. And so in the video, I remember the midwife, and again, this was COVID, right? So I have a mask on, mind you. I'm wearing a mask during
Wow.
all of this, and they all have like face shields and everything.
Wow.
And she was like, stop screaming and use that energy to like push out your bottom. And so that really helped. I was like, okay. And so literally just like pushed using like my butt basically. And then once he crowned, like, and it was the ring of fire, I'm screaming bloody murder. I mean, screaming bloody murder.
And what minute is this from like walking into the hospital at 3?
10 minutes later.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And your husband made it back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thankfully. He literally probably, and then, so I guess my water bag was right in front of his head or right, I don't know, but she popped it. And that's when like his head came out. And then that's when the ring of fire happened. And I just remember screaming, pull him out. Like I was like,
Yeah.
And then his body it took me all in all, I think a minute and a half, and he was pushed out. Like I pushed him out so fast. And looking back, it's because I was transitioning in the car.
Yeah.
Like that's what was happening in the car. I was going from 7 to 10, and then walked myself into L&D at 10. And like on my charge notes again, or my chart notes I was looking, it says I was checked in at 10 centimeters, 100% in face, and station +2.
Wow. That's
Did they
wild.
check you?
Yeah, they checked me when I got off the
Before you went to
toilet
oh, okay.
to see like,
And
is
that's when
she
they
just
were like, you're crowning.
you need to
Oh my
push.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was
Did you know about precipitous birth?
no. And that's what the midwife said. She's like, when did you have your first contraction? I was like, I don't know, around like 1:30. And she's like, well, you had a precipitous. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, I had no idea.
Precipitous who?
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't say the word for like
Yeah.
a year.
Same.
I kept saying, I'm like, I don't know, something of fast labor.
Yeah. Something like a pee labor.
Yeah, and I didn't tear, which is wild.
Mhm.
Only lost like 200 mils of blood. Like, just it was, textbook great,
Yeah.
but like traumatic
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
And like he was born healthy, everything was fine, so it wasn't traumatizing in that way. It was just traumatizing in the way where I was like, I didn't sign up
Yeah,
for that.
everything happened to you. Yeah. You
So
were not on
fast.
that same train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now for my third, I learned my lesson.
Okay.
I did, you guys.
And how far apart is 3 to 2?
Well, that's the funny thing. So we
Two to
So I
three.
found out I was pregnant at 40 weeks.
No, we actually were done with kids. Like
Yeah,
we were
you
done
said your
because
second
see,
was your last.
this is my tattoo, and
Oh,
I actually like
awkward.
had this. I had this, yeah, and I had to add him. Like I was done.
Yeah, you said that.
Wait,
so I was
that's
very
so
curious.
cute. But now you need to have a fourth. It needs to be a bow.
Bo, no.
Wait, that's so funny.
Yeah. So, we moved up here. and they're 23 months apart, so 2 years apart. And then it was when my middle turned 2 when I got that itch again. Everybody knows the itch. And I was like, I don't know, like we have this space and we're still young. And like, I just kept thinking of like the future when we're like 60 years old and we're looking at the dinner table. Like, I want a big family. And no, we were not trying for a girl just because we had 2 boys.
I
Like,
know
I got that
everybody
question
says that.
all
Yeah.
the time. And I'm like, no, I just wanted a baby.
Yeah.
Um, and so I had to convince my husband because he was not on board and he was like, I'm done. And I was like, well, so we talked about it for a long time. And we actually, like, I'm also Christian. And so we prayed about it for months. And I even had an IUD. I got an IUD in November of 2023. And I went into that IUD appointment and bawling, like crying so hard because I was like, I don't feel like this is right. But like my husband said, he's like, you don't have to get it. He was very supportive of that, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, you can always take it out. Like, we can always revisit this. And I'm like, okay, you're right. And so I kept praying to God. I was like, give me a sign that we are meant to have a third. And I prayed for it for months. And then I kept seeing the number 33 everywhere. It just became like this sign. Like, I believe in angel numbers.
Mhm.
And so I kept seeing 33 everywhere. And then I was like, well, 3. That's like, and my husband's like, you're reaching. I'm like, I don't know. And then one day I had like severe cramping and I was like spotting a little and really severe cramping. And then I like stuck my fingers up and my IUD was like right there. And I'm like, I don't think that's supposed to be there. And so I went to my OB and he was like, your IUD dislodged and it's like stuck in your cervix.
I'm just laughing because I'm picturing God like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say it.
Literally, and
So
that was
still
my
your life.
sign. And I was like, asked my OB, I'm like, is it common for IUDs to? And he was like, no. And I'm like, so I called my husband.
My God
after,
can.
yeah.
My God can dislodge IUDs.
So I called my husband after. I'm like, so my IUD was taken out because
Straight from Jesus.
it was dislodged. And he was like, so does this mean we're having a third? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, what do you think? So we kind of teetered around it. And then that was like a month. That was in March. And then on my birthday, my 33rd, see, 33
yeah.
birthday, we were out to dinner and like he told me he had one more birthday gift for me. And then he told me he wanted a third.
Aw.
So that was my birthday gift. And I was like, okay, let's go. And he was like, maybe like, let's wait till, end of summer. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, let's get through summer, enjoy the summer with our kids, and then we'll start trying. And then come like July, he was all about it again. He's like, let's just go. And I'm like, but if we do it now and I get pregnant right away, then our April babies are going to be lined up. And he's like, no, I mean, it could take a couple tries. I luckily am that girl that gets pregnant very easily. And like, of course, I feel guilty saying that, but I just do get pregnant very easily and luckily like have smooth pregnancies. And so I did get pregnant right away and I had the exact same due date as my
Oh my
second.
gosh.
And at this point though, I chose to have an unmedicated birth. I'm like, I am doing this. This is going to be my redemptive birth. I'm getting it right this time. Third and final. So I bought like hypnobirthing books. I listened to tons of podcasts about like unmedicated births and really educated myself on childbirth. Practiced so many breathing techniques. I was YouTubing and I was watching things. I mean, truly educated myself on childbirth, which is what I should have done the first time. Um, so I was preparing for months for this birth and came back down to around week 38 again,
And what was your due date?
April 16th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when was your second born? That was the April one?
April 8th.
Okay.
And then my third was April 5th.
Okay.
And so I was starting to get antsy again. And this is what I wish if I ever did have a fourth, I think I would be like, chill out, like just stop rushing it. But I just get so anxious towards the end to get them out.
Yeah.
And so when other moms are like that, I try to tell them, but I'm also like, I get it, like it's a mind game those
Yeah.
last couple of weeks. And so I got a membrane sweep again. All it did was make me lose my mucus plug and get just a lot more Braxton Hicks. And then around 38 and a half weeks again, I got the second sweep and that put me into labor. So it's always that second sweep.
Yeah.
The first one doesn't do anything, the second one does. But I think at that point, my cervix, oh, and I was also 3 centimeters for like weeks.
Wow.
So I kept thinking I was going to go into labor, but as you know, like that doesn't mean anything, right? So this was beautiful. So my mom had taken the boys to her house for a few days to just give me time to like chill before baby came. So I got like a prenatal massage and just watched Netflix all day and like totally basked in my last
Mm.
pregnancy. And then she got home on April 4th and so everybody was home. I kissed the boys goodnight. I was sitting on the couch and I stood up to go to bed and my mom was like, something's different tonight. Something's going to happen. I'm like, okay, mom, like what? Okay, whatever. Not thinking anything of it because I was just having Braxton Hicks, like nothing, no contractions. Even though I was having like lost discharge and spotting, but just no contractions. And so, sure enough, I go to bed and I actually ironically just finished my book I was reading. And so I finished my book. I'm rolling over and I hear a but like nothing came out. And I'm like, and this happened with my first, that same noise. Like you
Mhm.
Mhm.
hear the noise. It's literally a balloon,
Mhm.
yes. And then the gush, right? But that happened, but no gush. And I'm like, well, that's weird. So I'm literally Googling in bed, like popping noise in uterus at 39 weeks, no water, like trying to figure out what was happening. And I'm like, well, I don't know. That's so weird. So then I roll over and then whoosh,
Mm.
it all came out. And I was like, oh, so I got so excited. I wake up my husband and I was like, my water broke. He's like, no, get in the car. We're leaving. Like, this is,
Did you guys have a plan for that? Like if it because it went so fast last
yeah.
time?
So I was actually scheduled to get induced 2 days later because of my precipitous labor. My doctor wanted me to get induced. You know,
Mhm.
just to
Stretch. That's a
just
stretch.
right, just because he wanted me,
Uh-huh.
Just to be in control, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, and so I was like but so when my water broke, my husband was like, "No, no, we're leaving," and I was so I don't know if it's just because I was so much more confident this time, and, like, I felt so much I was way more, like, practicing with my faith, like, I just felt so calm. I literally FaceTimed my sister, I'm like, "My water broke," and, like, I had my bloody show, and I was, like, texting all my friends. I'm like, "You got" and they're like, "What do you like, are you having contractions?" No, like, still no contractions. And so, it was funny because like, I look back and, like, all of my labors are so different,
Mhm.
and so to have my water break but no contractions, I was like, "That's weird." I also didn't, like, know about that, right? So, I called L&D and I told them that we were coming in. And I get there and they admitted me, and I'm still not having any contractions, but I tell the doctor came in to check me, and I was 3, and I was like, "Oh, by the way, I labor really fast." Like, my last one was under 3 hours. She's like, "Okay, like, we'll see about that."
Yeah. Okay.
And so they checked me at 3 centimeters, and 20 minutes later, I got my first contraction. They kept 10 minutes apart, 8 minutes apart, 6 minutes apart. Within the first hour and a half, they were already at 2 minutes apart. And, that one though, I had my hypnobirthing music on in the background, the lights were dimmed, I had my husband I'm one of those people that don't like to be touched. Like,
Mhm.
I'm literally that mammal that goes into a corner to birth.
Mhm.
Like, I just hibernate, so I just laid in a fetal position the entire time, and the only touch was, like, stroking my back. Other than that, like, "Don't look at me, don't talk to me,"
By your husband
nothing.
only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And then he was like I had written affirmations, so he was, like, reading me those affirmations, and what's wild is, like, I really, like, don't know if I believe in hypnotizing, but I blacked out that birth, like, I don't remember anything, and I truly think it's because I got so into my mind, into
Mhm.
labor land that, like, I got to where, like, women it's really hard for women to get to in an unmedicated
Yeah.
birth.
And how was your voice? Were you loud? Were you
No, I was
quiet?
just so like, like I was
Wow.
so like my husband at one point thought I
Mm.
was asleep. And like the as I was getting to transition, she had checked me because I kept making my noises were getting more just primal. And so she checked me only an hour after getting there and I was already at 7. So
Oh my
again,
gosh.
I went from 3 to 7 in an hour. And I remember her being like, "Are you sure this is the last chance to get an epidural?" And not that I'm, like, annoyed that she asked about that, but I look back and I'm like, that was the that was that was my make or break it moment, and I knew it in my head too, and I'm like, "This is it, Michelle, like, you're either gonna have this redemptive birth or you're gonna get an epidural," and I was like, "No, I got this." And, so I told her no, and she left me, and,
That's such a annoying thing, though.
I know, especially when you say you don't want
Yeah,
it,
Yeah,
yeah,
and they
don't
still
ask.
and you're not
ask.
even asking for it or
Yeah.
suggesting it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. So then 30 minutes later, I kept telling my husband, I'm like, "I feel a lot of pressure in my butt." I was like, I have to poop." And he was like, "Well, I remember what that means." And so my first contraction started at 11:30, and by 1:30, I was saying I had to poop. So 2 hours later. And they came in at 1:40, so 2 hours and 10 minutes later, and I was complete.
Wow.
And, then it got to the point, this is the one part I was annoyed about, I wanted to push on my side.
Mm.
I was at Sutter Roseville, by the way.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm allowed to name drop.
Yeah, you
Go for
yeah,
it.
you are. Mhm.
So I was at Sutter Roseville, and the nurse said, quote, and I have it on video, "In order to push this baby out, you have to be on your back." And I
Wait, I'm
was
sorry. Is it 1920
yeah, right?
or
Wow.
2020 something?
And I didn't, again, when you're in labor land, I couldn't talk. Like, I was even trying to, like, move a pillow, and I just was like, I couldn't talk, so I was just like, "Okay." But in my head, I'm like, "No, I don't want that. This is why a doula would be so great," right?
Mhm.
And my husband, like, he knew the plan, but, like, also, like, didn't really
Well, it's
understand,
hard
like
when someone in authority talks in black and white like
right,
that. It's like,
Yeah.
well, she must know something I don't.
right.
And then, yeah, if you don't have the doula there to be reminding you that that's bullshit.
Yeah, and the doula totally could have been like, "No, she'll push on her side,"
Yeah.
you know? So, I remember just being in agonizing pain as they flipped me, because then that pressure is just sitting on my rectum, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," and then they put my legs in the
Oh,
stirrups,
God, I hate that.
and I was so content on my side,
Oh.
like, all I had to do was lift up a leg. That's
I'm
all I
so
needed.
sorry.
I know. So, that was super frustrating, and then the same thing, I was ready to push. I kinda, like, hesitated because I knew the ring of fire was coming, and my nurse was like, just push through it, like, you know
Mhm.
it's there." And so I did, and I think he was born under 1 minute. Like, he
Wow.
just it's like the fetal ejection reflex, like, he just flew out of me.
Mhm.
So that labor was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and he was born.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Crazy.
Wow.
yeah. And then that was it. It was a great postpartum recovery. My mom stayed with us for like 10 days, which
Oh, that's nice.
she's literally like, they're like postpartum doulas, right? And like helped with the big kids and made all the dinners, did all the laundry, and it was so nice because I was able to just like fully like relax and let my body heal and like snuggle with my newborn, and like my emotional and mental state this postpartum was so much better.
Mm.
So it truly was a redemptive birth in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. And this is
Yeah.
2023 or
4.
2024.
Yeah.
Then we became a doula in 2024 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did that
So
come
then
about?
I just loved childbirth, and again, like, I would have 10 kids if I physically, financially could, but obviously it's too much. But I just loved childbirth, and then I think I just really wanted to, like, help other women experience the redemptive birth that I
Mhm.
experienced, and knew obviously, like, it was gonna be a long road, but that's how I started my training in January of 2025, and then I finished in April of 2025, and then I had my first client in May,
Wow.
and then just took off from there. And then it's interesting because in January, this past January, like 3 months ago, I had a client, and I told her my story, and I told her I, like, cried after her labor because it was my second. What happened to
Mm.
her is exactly what happened to my
Mm.
second. And so it was like I was seeing myself again just in her. And so it was wild to like witness because hers was precipitous and it happened really fast, and she was unmedicated and that wasn't the plan, and she was scared. And so to be able to like be her doula like made me so emotional because it was like healing for me.
Yeah.
It was almost like I need like it sounds sad, but like I needed to have a birth like that to like take care of somebody
Yeah.
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
It's like reparenting, but it's like
Yeah.
re-doulaing.
Rebirthing.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
rebirthing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
that's beautiful.
yeah.
I love it. And then we had your doula partner on last week, it would be.
Yes.
So that's gonna be
Wink, wink.
fun. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Did she share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for
Yeah.
that.
That's really special.
I know.
That's very
I
special.
know. She like FaceTimed me and she had like the pregnancy test. She's like, "Will you be
Aw.
my doula?"
Aw.
I was like, "Well, I'd be there even if you didn't ask me." So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm really excited for her because that will be, it's gonna be home and it'll just be beautiful to like witness like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have done that too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It is the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate your
We
stories.
know that was so fun.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing a little bit about your eating disorder too, because we haven't talked about that.
Oh
And
yeah, what were you gonna
um,
mention with your third?
Oh, yes. So with my third, I actually noticed my eating disorder voices in my head were coming back during that pregnancy.
mm,
And I actually went vegetarian on that pregnancy. And I wanted to do it to be healthy, but I also knew I was trying to watch my weight. And I don't know why like my eating disorder thoughts came back during that pregnancy, but they did. And I should also mention, like I said, my first, I didn't work out, ate like
mhm,
crap, really struggled postpartum.
mhm.
My second, I ate a little bit healthier, worked out pretty good physically recovering. But my third, ate really healthy, worked out all the time, and literally like within 2 days of giving birth, I was like, I could run a marathon. Like I felt golden.
Mm,
So I truly do believe like eating healthy and working out when pregnant like really does make a difference on postpartum. Your healing, your recovery, like I stand firm in that. We actually just had a client who's a weightlifter and she had an unmedicated birth and this was like a few days ago and she's like, I feel great. And it's just like, so I truly think like, staying fit and active like makes a difference.
definitely.
But yeah, so anyways, I barely gained weight with my third. I only gained, I think, 16 pounds. And then he was six of those. He was my tiniest one. I
Aw.
went from 8.5, 7.5, 6.5.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Like,
It's
weird.
usually the opposite.
I know they kept dropping, but I also knew I wasn't eating as much with him. He was healthy. He was never malnourished or anything, but and then I did notice like postpartum, I kind of restricted too, which did affect my milk supply. Um, and by then, like when I tried getting it back up, it was like 6 months post, and like it was just
That's hard.
really hard to get your milk back.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I do like it sucks that like my eating disorder kind of crept in because I wish like I could have like had more milk for him, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It's one
Yeah.
of those like mental health issues that can come up
Yeah.
anytime, any
Yeah.
age.
I I'm a dietitian as well, and I work with
Oh.
eating disorders.
Oh.
And I've noticed, and this is like a well-known thing in the field, is with pregnancy, it's either going to like help you go into a
Mhm.
little bit of like a remission or recovery,
Mhm.
and like no problems at all, or sometimes it's like even more triggering, and you just don't know,
Yeah.
which is really scary for a lot of people
And
that
that's
when they're
how
making that decision.
yeah, and that's how it was with my first. Like it was totally
Mm-hmm.
remission recovery. And then with my third, I was itching to like lose the weight
Mm-hmm.
so fast.
Yeah.
Ugh, so frustrating. But yeah, so being able to like help other women now as a doula, like it's such a passion. And like that's what I was grateful for was like quitting a corporate job where nobody could care less, right? Like they're
Yeah.
just like I worked there for 5 years and I didn't even get a goodbye from like my VP.
Wow.
Oh
hmm
my
No,
gosh.
nothing, nothing,
Wow.
just nothing. And so to be able to like have a fulfilling job where like I truly make a difference in another woman and and man's
Yeah.
life is like I love that I get to call this my job.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so fulfilling, it's so passionate and yeah, I just like I love that, I just love birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so like as a Christian too, to feel like you're exactly where God wanted you to be, like you're
Yeah.
aligned with your calling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is.
It's a very affirming feeling.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
also
thank
craving
you.
charcuterie.
Yeah, I want a charcuterie.
No.
I need a board.
Do you
So
do like little boards? Like, could we order one
yeah,
for a girls'
yeah,
night?
yeah.
What
I
about
do.
like nachos? Charcuterie
I
nachos.
don't do nachos, but that's actually
Have you
not a
seen the
bad
charcuterie nachos
idea.
though?
I've seen no.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I've seen the butter boards.
Okay,
Oh, the butter
I
art.
haven't done that.
The butter
So-
art. Have you seen the butter art?
No. So
Yeah.
the charcuterie nachos that I have been obsessed with
Yeah.
is sea salt and vinegar chips.
Okay.
Oh God, Ariel.
No,
We're
it's
gonna have to
so good.
DoorDash.
I
and
know.
I can't.
DoorDashed it for him and I. He
What
and
from
I.
where?
No, you have
No,
to
I
make
had to
it.
make them.
You have to get the
but-
ingredients.
Oh, okay.
So salt and vinegar chips.
Okay.
And then we've got aged cheddar,
Mm-hmm.
Kerrygold, of course, and then a brie. And you're gonna
Yes.
chop both of those, and you're gonna sprinkle them on top. And then you're going to chop prosciutto and salami and sprinkle it
so
on
you're
top.
going all out.
Then that goes in the oven. No, no. Fig jam, or like, I think it calls for like a pepper jam. But little dollops in the oven just to melt, and then drizzle with balsamic.
Oh, the balsamic.
Yes. I feel like the
That sounds
balsamic,
delicious.
it's so good. The balsamic with the salt and vinegar chips specifically, because I've had them
Yeah.
before, but they weren't salt and vinegar, and it was too heavy. I had like a few bites, and I was like, ugh.
Mm.
But the salt and vinegar makes it somehow light,
Interesting.
even though you're eating a very decadent
Right,
rich thing.
right.
I don't know how to explain it.
I want that.
Highly
now.
recommend.
You'll have to send me that.
I will.
Yeah, my company is called Perfectly Plated,
Mm.
and I was actually voted best charcuterie in SAC year 24 and 25.
Okay, I was gonna say I definitely recognize that name.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I've done like events for. I mean, I've done so
Do
some
you
of
do those tables?
yeah.
Wow.
I do tables. I actually have one this weekend. But yeah, so if you guys have an event, like I do like grazing tables, or I just do boards, right? And I have like personalized boards. I have bigger boards, medium boards, like different sizes. But I have clients that know obviously that I do charcuterie. So like for their postpartum visit, they ask me
Yes.
for a little, and I'm like, yeah, because a lot of them like don't eat like the cold meats or the brie or the
So they want
so
that
they're
so
like
bad.
stoked. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Wow, I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
I know. I need
I'm
a
ready.
place to open charcuterie nachos so I can get those on.
Oh, like DoorDash them?
I'm not a maker of food.
I'm gonna have to
If
try
you
that.
just DoorDash the ingredients, I will be your maker. If I'm with you.
Yeah.
I will not come over just to make your
Wait, when's your birthday?
September.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna plan her chow.
Like chow chow.
I love that.
Chow chow.
Well, cheers.
Yes. Oh,
Thank you
cheers.
so much for
Thank
coming
you,
and
you
sharing.
guys. It was so nice to finally meet you all.
I know.
Thanks for joining us on Girly Pop Birth Talks, where we hold space for the messy and meaningful journey of becoming her.
If today's story moved you, made you laugh, or reminded you of your own strength, we'd love it if you subscribed, shared the episode, and left us a quick review.
We're so glad you were here.
Seriously, you're one of us now.
We can't wait to do this again soon.